Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today I'm shipping all the items that sold in 2 days, Thursday and Friday, the 14th and 15th of August. My gross sales amount is $151.49. It's 8 items. I think 2 were eBay and the rest were Poshmark. I didn't ship yesterday because I only sold 1 item on Thursday, and it was this bra, and it sold on Poshmark, so I didn't really have to ship. But this has some really pretty like lace detailing on it, especially on the back. I find that like lacy pretty ones will sell a little bit faster. This is Soma and it's called the Embraceable Racerback. So the average sale price for Embraceable Racerback is $17.15 with a 31% sell-through rate. This sold for $16 on Poshmark. I had it listed for $20. Honestly, I spelled it wrong in the title. I had Embraceable with an N instead of an M. I don't know why I didn't catch that, but you know what? Sometimes we make mistakes. I definitely make them often. So, it maybe would have sold a little faster. I'm not really sure. But I had it listed for $20 on Poshmark, and I send out 20% off offers on Prime Lister. Well, using Prime Lister. And I use that to share my items, and then I also use that to send offers. So sent out a 20% off offer for $16, and that was accepted. And my I bought it at the bins, the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. I've had this for about a month, like I said, I think 3 times now. So hopefully that's been made clear. And my profit is $11.80. I love selling bras. I think they're just so simple, and I don't know. They're easy to take photos of. When I ship bras and hats on Poshmark, I like to use this as a number 4 box from the USPS, and when I ship on eBay, I use a 4x6 by 8 8x6x4 box that I buy on eBay using my eBay shipping supply coupon. So did I tell you my gross sales amount? It's $151.49. This I also found at the bins. Actually, I think like 6 of these items came from the bins. This is not perfect. It probably needs a little bit of cleaning up. There's some marks on the outside, but this is a Victoria's Secret cosmetic bag. What else did I use? Makeup bag, travel case. I don't know. When I just did a very basic search on the eBay Seller Hub using the product research tool, which is how I do all the comps for the video, the average sale price was $15.38 with a 3% sell-through rate, so super, super low. When I found this at the bins, I found an exact comp for this at a higher rate. I'm fairly confident. I don't remember exactly because it's been a couple months. But you know how sometimes, well, for me anyway, sometimes I have like vague recollections of very specific things, and I like remember going, oh, that's really good. And yeah, then in the end, it wasn't actually really all that good. So, I listed mine for $16, $15.95 or something like that. And someone offered me $10, and I went ahead and accepted that offer because, you know, 3% sell-through rate. There was something about this stripe, I think, that was made the sell-through rate a little bit higher, but I don't remember what it was. I'm reusing a bag that was sent to me when I ordered something, or maybe it was a return. I don't know. I like to reuse bags when I can. Helps the environment, helps me save a few cents of money. My profit on this was, oh, I didn't tell you all the things. They bought it for $10 with shipping on eBay. They paid a total of $17.64. I've had it for a month. Again, I bought it at the bins. When I go to the bins, I don't know if I said this in the first one, it's the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. I average my cost of goods as $2 per item. But on some items that are way less, like that bra, I will say it's $1. If something's super heavy, like a coat, I'll say it's $3 or $4. It's not my own personal thing. That's just the way I do it. I don't know that it's right or wrong. It just is. So anyway, my profit is $6.20, which is, you know, not really that good, especially considering I had to like clean it up and stuff. But hey, extra money is extra money, so I will take it. This is a top. It is very like dark green floral print. 41 Hawthorne is the brand. It has a little bit of pleating here in the back. It's really cute. It's very flowy. I bought this thinking it was something. It was one of those things I was like, I feel like this is one of the brands, and maybe I looked it up, maybe I didn't. I talk about sell-through rate a lot, but sometimes I'm not great at actually looking it up when I'm thrifting. And part of that is because my cost of goods is so low that I'm willing to take more risks. And definitely when I'm paying more, I will look things up. Anyway, this was found at the bins, so I'm trying to remember if I looked it up or not, and I don't remember. But when I look up 41 Hawthorne top, it was, I don't know, like a 4% sell-through rate or something. And then I added plus size because this is a 1X. And the average sale price was $12.89 with a 7% sell-through rate. So that plus size, oh no, what happened?
My room. I thought they were just going to wash out, so I wasn't worried about it, but now they're stained.
Yeah, they're definitely stained.
I like these jeans too.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can stain treat them and see if it'll come out. Do you know what it is?
I think it's marker.
Is it marker?
I think it's marker.
Shoot. I'm not great at stain treating, so if you have some thoughts on how to get marker out of jeans, that is terrible.
I like these too.
I know you did, and yes, she dried them, which isn't good. Anyway, I got distracted, and now I don't know what I was saying.
Sorry.
No worries. Average sale price is $12.89, 7% sell-through rate. So it increased it a little bit, but not really much. So shockingly, I priced this at $18.95, and it sold in 2.5 months. They used the 15% off coupon that I have on my eBay store. So what's 15% of $19? Like $3 off of that. So it's sold for like $15-ish. Anyway, with shipping, they paid $21.85. It took 2.5 months to sell. Also found that at the bins, very lightweight. Average sale cost was, or average cost of goods was $2. So my profit is $14.71. Kind of surprising to me, but I'll take it. All right, this is something I love selling, this style of dress. And this is like a midi length. Yeah. Midi length. This is actually a shirt dress where it buttons all the way down, but like a denim jumper dress kind of overall look, like anything in kind of in that style sells fairly quickly for me, and usually for a fair amount of money. This has some really fun looking like embroidery on it, and it is short sleeve and has collar. I have heard to, I don't remember if I used modest in this, but I've heard to not use modest unless it's like long sleeve and no slits. And I don't really find that to be true. I have some like real life in-person friends who dress in like a modest style, and they will wear slits in their skirt. It's just, you know, it has to be a reasonable skirt. or they will wear sleeveless things with, you know, something underneath, things like that. So I just find that if it's like a long, midi or maxi length and has kind of a modest feel to it, sometimes I will add the term modest. I don't know if that actually helps the sale or not, but I do add those. All right, so a vintage, and this, did I show you I don't think I showed you the tag. It's vintage. The vintage denim shirt dress, and I added midi length, has an average sale price of $24.16 with an 8% sell-through rate. So this is, I talk a lot about how, sell-through rate is important, but it's not everything. And for me, one of the I can't think of the word. One of the considerations that I take is my personal experience with it, and just dresses like that I have a really good experience with selling. So anyway, 8% sell-through rate. It did sell for $18. This was after my air conditioner just flipped on. Hopefully it will just be light background noise and won't be super distracting for you. If it is distracting, I apologize. Okay, I'll get it together eventually. Probably not. Don't hold your breath on me getting it together. Okay. What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. I had it listed for $30. This was one of the things that I think it was the first thing that sold. Someone sent me an offer for $18 and I had only sold just like one thing the day before. And I went ahead and accepted the offer, even though in my personal experience, I think I probably could have gotten at least like 25 for this. I don't know. I will tape down the edges of these kind of things sometimes. This sold on Poshmark, so I used a legal flat rate envelope. I don't usually like these. I usually use the tie-dye mailers, but I don't have any right now. I thought I ordered some, but apparently I didn't, or they never came or something. I'm not really sure. Anyway, point being, sold for $18. I've had this for 2 months, listed for 2 months. It sold, I bought it at a garage sale for $2, and that makes my profit, what? $12.40. I'll take it. Okay. This was kind of a guess. It was one of those things that I was like, I might be able to like keyword sell this. I'm not great at keywords. I'm learning. I'm doing better. But that's like not my, that's not my forte by any means. So anyway, this is a studded skeleton shirt, and I thought certainly someone's gonna want this. It's also in a plus size, it's 2X. It has a stripe in it. It kind of has, I don't know, to me, that's a bit of a Y2K look with this, like the seams. I feel like I would have worn this with like a maxi denim skirt. I mean, I wouldn't have worn the anyway, it's old. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh, Halloween's coming, like soonish. So anyway, it's old. The brand is Style & Co. Is that Kohl's? Meijer? Walmart? Target? Something like that. I don't think it's a vintage, but I also don't think it's like super modern. I think it's probably like 2010s, 15, somewhere in there. If I had to bet money on it, I wouldn't. I don't feel that strongly about it at all. But anyway, I found it at one of my favorite thrift stores, my old favorite thrift store, for 50 cents. And so I was like, I'm gonna try and style keyword this and sell. So I used studded, I used skeleton, I used skull, I used goth. Did I use Halloween? I don't remember. I should have. I didn't. So I will often try when I'm doing keywords, if I can't put them in the title, I'll put them in the description. On eBay, I will put them in, there's a theme drop-down menu, so I'll put them in theme. Where else do I put them? On eBay and Poshmark, there's, you know, style, is it style or tags? I forget what they're called. It's one of those things I look at every day and then I forget what they're called. I think there's tags on both of them, and then Depop also has style. Anyway, there was not really good comp information. I priced it at $25. Someone sent me an offer. Actually, I priced it only at $20. Someone sent me an offer for $15. I've had this for 2.5 months. It sold on Poshmark. I spent 50 cents on it, and my profit is $11.50. Good. Okay. This one, let's see. So Friday night, I was doing something and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put out some offers for 30% off. And I think this is one that was 30%, or maybe this was an offer. I don't remember, but this is a pillowcase. It does have, like, it's embroidered. It kind of has little like knots on it. It's textured. This is Pottery Barn. And it's 100% linen. Show you the tag. There it is. And I have had great success selling Pottery Barn linens, and I am actively looking for those now. And linens just in general, I kind of have decided unofficially that linens are gonna be like my other category that I'm, you know, just actively searching out. I like to look at like hard goods and figurines, and I would love to get into jewelry. But man, it feels overwhelming to like, you know, I could sit for probably an hour and research an entire shelf in a thrift store of figurines and mugs, or I don't know, whatever, in the hard goods. And I probably would not find anything, and that feels super overwhelming to me. Like, I want to, with linens, I at least have kind of a base knowledge of, okay, I know Pottery Barn, West Elm, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Bahama I sold. You know, I have kind of a starting point. There's another curtain brand that I sold that I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but I saw it and I was like, I know that brand. And yeah, so I feel like I at least have a starting point, and so that's where I'm going with that. So a 100% linen throw pillowcase, Pottery Barn, or pillow cover, I think is what I searched, has an average sale price of $25.36 with a 26% sell-through rate. Higher sell-through rate. Still not super high, but better, right? Mine sold for $25. So I had it listed at $36. I think that was an offer someone sent to me. I've had this listed for 3 months. Again, found it at the bins. So an average cost of goods of $2, and that makes my profit 18 bucks. Love that. All right. These next 2 items were given to me, which is always a bonus because that's free inventory. This is a little crossbody bag. It is pebbled leather, and that has that like texture to it. And inside here it says Divina Firenze, and it does say made in Italy. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you very well, but I'm gonna try. I don't know. Anyway, I actually did a video where a friend of mine had given me just a bunch of stuff, and I had pulled out some things that I wanted to research to see if it would be worth taking the time to list. And I did a video, like I kind of did that. I just recorded myself doing the research, if that makes sense, talking to you. And this was one of those items, and actually pretty decent comps. This brand, I mean, Leather made in Italy, I feel like, is always a good bet. Not always, but most of the time a good bet. But the average sale price for what I looked up was the Divina Firenze pebbled leather crossbody. Average sale price was $26.72 with a 21% sell-through rate. So I had this listed for $30, and then I sent out the 30% off offer, and that was accepted. So they bought it for $21 on Poshmark. I've had it listed for 3 months. And like I said, my friend gave it to me, so my cost of goods is $0, which is great, and my profit is $16.80. I have a couple of friends that give me things, and I am so grateful. It's been a really nice addition. All right, what was I going to tell you about this? I was going to tell you something. No, right out of my head. All right, this one came from my mom. She likes to bring me things. She finds things at yard sales, or actually, I don't know. Mom, where do you find stuff? But she'll bring me a box occasionally, and it's always really fun. So this is a jacket with a really fun kind of almost watercolor looking abstract-y print. It's a little bit florally. I don't know. But it's Editions by Chico's, and I was trying to look up this line to find more information about it, and it was not, I just wasn't getting much information. But this is a really lightweight jacket. It's gonna be perfect for fall. Just to throw over, these beginning months of fall when it can still be hot, but then it gets a little cool in the evening. This will be perfect. So Chico's Editions jacket has an average sale price of $16.27 with a 9% sell-through rate. What do I think? I think a lot of things. I think that sometimes those sell-through rates can really kind of hold me back a little bit. Maybe that happens for you sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, 9%. But when I add things like watercolor, abstract, sometimes that will catch the attention of someone who might just not be looking up Chico's Editions jacket, So, I don't know. That's my thought. I had this listed for $25, and so with 30% off, someone accepted my $17 offer. I've had this listed for 6 months, and like I said, I have 0 cost of goods because my mom gave it to me. Thank you so much, Mom. And my profit is $13.60. Okay, my profit for the day, 2 days, was $105.01. So I am pleased with that. It's not quite hitting my goal, but we're close. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. The question of the day is, do you get inventory from family and friends? Do you tell people what you do? I have had multiple people, and if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen that, where my mom has sent me stuff, my stepmom has sent me stuff. My stepmom actually started selling on Poshmark, so she doesn't send me stuff anymore. She keeps it for herself. My mom sells hard goods in a more unique way. I think she does auctions on Facebook. I'm not really sure. So when she finds clothes that she knows I like the brand or the style, or she just sent me a bunch of scrubs because I like to sell scrubs, so that's really great. But she doesn't usually sell clothes, so that's kind of nice. I have friends that will be like, hey, I'm gonna drop this by Goodwill. Do you want me to swing it by your house instead? Yes, do that. That's where that purse came from. My friend said, hey, I've got some Goodwill things. I have other friends that do that as well. I probably have, 4 or 5 friends who do that on a fairly regular basis. And sometimes I don't get major things out of there, but it'll be an extra $10 or $20 or $30, depending on what it is. So I have thought about, and I think I've said this before, but I've thought about like posting on Facebook, like, hey, as you're, getting ready for fall and maybe cleaning out your summer items, if you are sending things to Goodwill, I can come pick them up for you, or, something along those lines, but I've not yet done that. Maybe I should. Or even just put out like a text to my friends just to say that. Just like, hey, just a reminder. I don't know. The question is, do you do that? That's my question of the day. Have you gotten free or even just low cost? I do have a friend who will be like, hey, do you want to do a consignment deal? Actually, this just happened a couple weeks ago before I left my trip. She was like, hey, can I hire you? And I was like, what do you mean by that? And she's like, I'm not really sure. So she dropped off like 2 bags of things. I went through it and I said, okay, here's what I can offer you. And she was like, perfect. And so I essentially paid her, what I thought was a reasonable price for the things that I could sell. And then the rest of it I passed on to Goodwill. So anyway, I just think it's kind of a unique, creative, different way to get inventory. And sometimes inventory that, you wouldn't necessarily see out in the thrift store. I don't know, maybe you would, but yeah, anyway. Okay, I'm chatty. It's probably because I didn't get to chat with you yesterday. So, all right, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much. I will see you soon.